Most productivity advice sounds great on paper, but when you try to follow it in a real life business and home with real responsibilities, it falls apart fast. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because the system was not built for your world. So let's walk through some of the most common expert strategies and why they don't work when you are juggling a business, a household, and a million mental tabs. Now, you've seen the reels: soft morning light, peaceful music, a streaming mug of something fancy, flowers. It's time for you to get up super early in the morning. The earlier the better, the gurus say. It's the secret to success. They stress. And listen, hey, I wanted this to work. I tried it off and on for years. I had set my alarm for 4:15 sometimes, thinking I was going to unlock a new level of life. But here's what usually happened. I was groggy, my brain refused to cooperate, and somehow someone else always would wake up too. It's like they could sense the peace I was trying to create. Even now with teens in the house, it's like they just know and they start roaming like kitchen raccoons the minute I try to have a quiet moment. And I actually do have a friend who is great at the early mornings, which is awesome. But she is lights out by like 8 p.m. and she is living a different rhythm. I mean, it doesn't hurt that her oldest is like 6, but I do not want this for me. But if that works for you, I love it. I love it. Lean into it. But if it doesn't, it's not a character flaw. It just means that your life is not designed like an aesthetic productivity video, and that is totally fine. The problem with us deciding that we're getting up early is that it only works if your body, your energy, and your household support it. And for some of us, early mornings are just a fast track to burnout and resentment, which 100% is what happened to me. I'd be like, why am I so cranky? And then I was like, oh, I know. It's because I'm not sleeping well and I'm getting up super duper early. Trying to force it, it's like trying to put on somebody else's shoes. They might be nice, but they're gonna give you blisters by lunchtime. Instead, try this: protected time somewhere in your day, any old time. Find the pocket of time where your energy is strongest and just claim it. If you have little kids, it might be nap time. It might be after school time, or a quiet CEO hour on the weekend, or like 5 hours, whatever. But it doesn't have to be early. It just has to be intentional. My cat, sheesh. I have a friend, she's a photographer. She does all of her editing at like midnight, 1 a.m. And, it works for her. For me, it's the afternoon and the evening. That's when I get my best ideas, my clearest thinking, the most done. The creativity just starts coming on in. In the morning, it's just not there. So have you ever heard of this tip? And that is to time block your whole day. Now, here's what it is. You schedule your entire day into blocks. Every task, meeting, and break gets a set time slot. Time blocking. I mean, time blocking in theory, chef's kiss. Come on. I absolutely love it. Color-coded blocks of focused work. Family bonding scheduled to the minute and all perfectly slotted in. But here's what usually happens. And I mean, I used to have a list of like 15 things and I would have them like scheduled like crazy. It just backfired though, because you create the plan on Sunday night, maybe with a fresh planner and beautiful highlighters. I love a planner. Monday morning rolls around and by 9:12, something has happened. Maybe a school form is missing. If you're like me, your husband's texting you asking for you to email him some PDF. Your kid has an emotional crisis over socks, and by 10 a.m. your deep work block, it's now being used to clean yogurt up off of the floor. Time blocking assumes your life runs on perfect rails, and maybe you don't have a lot of other responsibilities. And if you don't, great. But for me, my life, it's full of potholes, curveballs, kids who suddenly need a glue stick or they forget their gym gear and you actually have to bring it because they're doing something on a field trip outdoors. Maybe you can relate to that. So when one block gets thrown off, the whole plan collapses. And really, you've just constructed it in a way where it's like a house of cards. So instead of feeling productive, you feel like you've messed up yet again. And instead of adapting, you feel like you failed and that you just throw out the whole system. You don't know where to pick up. That's not time management. That is emotional whiplash dressed up as productivity. And if you love time blocking and it works for you, I think that's wonderful. But here's what I do instead. I have my triangle system. So I do love a planner, but I also like to have things on the back end of my business organized. I want to be able to sit down and work. I don't want to be like, oh, where am I picking up? I don't want to be like, I'm going to scroll through emails and then I check through Instagram and then I'm looking for a Canva template, all of these things. No, I have an organized back end. My Google Drive is organized. There's only 6 master folders, and then within that, everything is there. That's one part of the triangle. The second part, I have my dashboard where everything that I am doing that's productive lives. So like my Instagram, my YouTube, my client stuff. I have got newsletters, all of that in there. So it's all in one place and it connects with my Google Drive. And then I have my planner, and that is where I plan out my day. I will look at my Google Calendar and be like, what appointments do I have? And I will put them in there. And then I only have 1 to 2, max 3 priorities, but usually, and if there's 3, they're usually smaller, but I only have a few things in there. So that if something comes along and it hijacks my time, I know where I'm picking up because I know what the priorities are and I know where everything is. So it's much easier than time blocking, which I always found was a real struggle. Now, maybe you've heard this one, and that is to batch your content for the whole month in one day. Girl, I have tried this. Here's what it is. You dedicate one long session to create all of your content at once, like a month of reels or emails or posts in a single setting. Now, maybe sure you can do a month's worth of like posts or something, but it is a real challenge to get so much done. And if you try it once, I doubt you're going to do it very often. I have tried it multiple times. I have tried different things and nothing has ever worked because you'll sit down with the best of intentions. Like I'm going to write 12 captions, record a podcast, plan things out. It feels amazing for like 27 minutes, but then your brain, it starts buffering. You're staring at your Canva design like it's written in ancient Greek. You can't remember what your offer even is. And instead of doing the one thing really well, you end up opening Instagram, checking your email, grabbing a snack, and feeling totally scattered. Do I keep mentioning that? Because that was my default. Batching is great in theory, but if your creative energy comes in waves, which it does for me, in fact, it comes on a bit of a cycle, if you know what I mean, forcing yourself to sprint when your brain is at a jog, it just makes absolutely everything longer and it feels worse and it does not work out well. You will not like the results you get. It requires high, sustained creative energy and uninterrupted time, which is rare. And instead of finishing everything, you end up overwhelmed and completely scattered. So instead, let's try flow-based batching, which is so hard for me to say, but you batch when your brain is in the mood. It might sound dangerous, but I like to have a to-do list so I can choose from what I feel like. Sure, sometimes I'm kind of pushing myself a bit. Creativity is one thing that I need to feel a bit more to be inspired to do, but busy work can fit in most other times. So when I say I have my priorities for the day, if I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling that, I go back to the list and I just swap it out just like that. And keep a content hub where you store ideas. So creativity, when it strikes, you can actually capture it, like my dashboard that I talked about. And I'll link that system down below. You can check it out if you want. But what you're doing is more bite-sized batching, and you're really just saying, this is what my brain feels like doing now. Like if I'm like, I feel like writing some YouTube videos, I will. And if I feel like filming maybe 2 videos in a day, I will. But content marathons, for me, they have just fallen flat. Have you heard this one? To start your day with a powerful morning routine. Now, I think most of us have a routine of sorts, but then there's the power hour. Movement, meditation, hydration, gratitude, green juice, journaling, vision board review, sun salutation, 5 minutes of breath work. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to find a clean hoodie, open my laptop before somebody asks for a toast. Morning routines are lovely when life is calm. And again, like I said, I am not a super productive person in the morning. If you are, perhaps you want this type of thing. But most mornings at my house, they look more like a tornado than tranquility. And even when they are calm, I am not productive. I am slow, I am foggy. The real magic for me, like I said, it comes in the afternoon after lunch when I can just breathe and think. But if that first hour of your day is survival mode, you are not a failure. That's okay. You are a human with responsibilities who doesn't fall into that guru's mold, and you probably need some flexibility and some rhythms and maybe just like a checklist of things you need to do. Instead, what you can try is a gentle start cue. One simple routine that just signals to your brain that it's time to begin, like lighting a candle, playing a playlist, or making your favorite tea. For me, it truly is just, well, I put on my Bible recap podcast, but then I make my son breakfast as I listen to it. I make an egg, I toast half a bagel, I get out some berries. Ritual, not routine. I bet you're sick though of wasting hours each week whenever you sit down to work. And I have a great system. It is not a guru hack, but it is a proven method that has worked for me. Makes me 400 times more efficient when I want to get work done. So check out that video here. I hope something great happens for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tidy and mighty, and I'll see you next time. Bye.